to Write, Speak, Score, and today we've got a video for you about 3 very important speaking skills. In fact, they're probably the first speaking skills you're going to need, and that is giving an opinion, giving a reason, and giving an example. Now, these 3 skills are useful in all parts of the test, but they're especially useful in part 1 and part 3 of the speaking test. And that's when we get questions like, why do people like to learn online? Or why do so many people use online learning? Now remember, when we're in the test, we don't need to use very complicated grammar. In fact, we're trying to make things as clear as possible. So we just want to remember certain phrases that help us to explain to the listener what we're talking about. And that's what we're going to look at now. So let's start with the first skill, which is giving an opinion. Now, when the examiner asks you for your opinion in the test, you can use these structures. I'd say that, or in my opinion, personally, I think, I suppose, to be honest, I feel that. So how can we use these phrases? So here's an example. I'd say that studying online is convenient, especially for people who have busy schedules. This is a good answer because it gives a clear opinion and adds a little detail. It's not too short and it sounds natural. You could also say, personally, I think online learning is useful because students can study at their own speed. Or, to be honest, I feel that face-to-face classes are better for young children because they need more guidance. So a safe way to use these structures is to choose one phrase and then give a simple opinion. Don't try to make the sentences too long. That is much safer than trying to use a very complicated sentence and making grammar mistakes. Now let's move to the second skill, which is explaining reasons. So after you give an opinion, you should usually explain why you think that opinion, right? So this helps you speak for longer and makes your answer stronger. So useful structures could include, one reason is that, this is mainly because, I think this is because, the main reason is that, and that's probably because. So let's see how we can use these structures. So one example is, one reason is that public transport is usually cheaper than driving. So this is a simple but effective way to connect opinion and a reason together, right? Another one could be, I'd say that public transport is very useful. One reason is that it is usually cheaper than driving. That already sounds much better than just saying public transport is useful, right? So we're just trying to extend what we say, give reasons for it, develop our arguments. Here are a few more examples. Personally, I think exercise is important. This is mainly because it helps people stay healthy and reduces stress. Another one could be, in my opinion, children should learn how to cook. The main reason is that it helps them become more independent. And last one, I suppose people enjoy traveling because it gives them a chance to relax and experience different cultures. All of these kinds of phrases would help us gain a higher score in the test by just developing answers and including some topic-related language. Now, let's look at the third skill, giving examples. Examples are extremely important in answer speaking because they help you really develop the answer. If your answer is too general, it may sound weak. But if you add an example, your answer becomes more natural and convincing. So let's have a look at this slide. We can see that we've got some useful structures that we can use to introduce an example. Of course, we can use for example. We can say for instance, or a good example would be in my case, or to give you an example. Okay, so let's build a full answer using all the three skills that we've learned. So we're going to need a question. Do you think mobile phones are important? I'd say that mobile phones are extremely important nowadays. One reason is that people use them for many daily tasks, not just for calling others. For example, in my case, I use my phone to check messages, read the news, pay for things, and sometimes study English. So this answer is strong because it has that opinion followed by a reason and an example. It's fully developed. Let's try another question. What's your opinion about online shopping? Personally, I think online shopping is very convenient. This is mainly because people can buy things without leaving their home. For instance, if someone is busy with work, they can order clothes, food, or household items in just a few minutes. Now, this answer is not very difficult in terms of language, but it has that full development. And finally, we'll just have one more example. Do you think public transport is better than driving? In my opinion, public transport is better in large cities. The main reason is that it can reduce traffic and save people money. A good example would be the subway because it's usually faster than driving during rush hour. So the key to today's lesson is this. Don't just answer with one question. Use this simple formula. Opinion plus reason plus example. I'd say that learning English is useful. One reason is that it can help people find better jobs. For example, many international companies expect employees to speak English well. This structure is safe, flexible, and strong enough for a high band score if you use it naturally and accurately. So to practice, you can just take any IELTS question and answering it using these 3 steps. First, give your opinion. Second, explain the reason. And then third, give an example. So that's it for this lesson. Keep your answers clear. Don't force difficult grammar and practice these sentence structures until they feel natural. Okay, catch you in the next video, and please like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye-bye.